friends. It's about 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, September 9th. We just got to our villa at the boardwalk. So we got the room really early actually. It is on the first floor and it is facing the pool, which are two things I kind of hate, but at least we got the room early. It's currently switching on and off between raining and pouring. So it's nice to be able to hang out in the room and not just in the lobby while we try to wait out the rain to head into Epcot for lunch, hopefully. If we don't end up doing that, we'll probably go eat at Big River Grill or somewhere nearby. I am getting a little hungry, so we're gonna have to make a decision soon. We'll do a room tour soon. I'm currently standing on our little patio. I think the patio is shared, which is kind of weird. Like, it's really long, and then, you know, that's someone else's door. I didn't realize that they had like directly shared patios and or balconies. There's not even a divider, but that's okay. We don't tend to hang out outside too much. I know a lot of people love to have their morning coffee on their patio or balcony. I don't drink coffee. Adam's trying to cut down, and you know, I like the air conditioning. I'm gonna stay in the not humid as much as possible. I have noticed though that both at Beach Club and now at Boardwalk, the rooms are set to like freezing when you come in. It's 65 degrees and it's so cold. So that's why I'm standing out here now. Adam turned the thermostat up, so it's gonna be less cold soon, but like I was convulsing when I walked in. I was so cold. Yeah, we're just hanging out for now at the boardwalk in our villa. We'll be here for 3 nights. We check out on Sunday, and you know, hopefully it stops being quite this soggy so I can feel better about heading into theme parks. We're trying to get to Epcot today. I'm sure we will at some point, but it's raining pretty hard right now, so check back in later. It's been a pretty soggy Epcot day. We did get a little reprieve and were able to get lunch. We got the fish and chips from the UK, from the Yorkshire Fish and Chip Shop, the quick service, like mobile order part. We didn't go into Rose and Crown. The fries were very meh, but the fish was really good. We just split it. It's a pretty big portion, so happy about that. Then we started walking around World Showcase. The Noodle Exchange was open. There's a lot of food and wine booths open early, actually. Like, they were not supposed to open until October 1st, but happy about that. Adam got a pork udon bowl. It was good. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't very special. The noodles were pretty good. Everything else was just like, yeah, it's fine. The broth kind of tasted like top ramen to me, which I thought was funny, but we're not mad about it, but I don't think I would get it again. And then we rode Frozen Ever After. It was a 20-minute posted wait, and that was pretty accurate. I think that was the first time we've done the standby line for that. And yeah, it started raining pretty hard, so now we are taking shelter in the land.
On a day very much like today, Anna saved her sister with an unselfish act of true love and full of frozen heart.
Oh, and now they're best friends.
Welcome to Elsa's Ice Palace.
We get to share this frozen fun.
Hello! I think last time we checked in, we were sheltering from the rain in the Land Pavilion. That worked out really well. We rode Soarin'. We got to be in the B section, so facing straight on. The Eiffel Tower was nice and pretty instead of warped and bendy. We didn't get B1. That's the one where you don't have feet dangling ahead of you. We were in B2. We probably could have waited for B1, but it's just not that important. But yeah, it was pretty much a walk-on. Actually, I thought in general, in the morning, it was just not that busy, I think probably because of the rain. After we were done with Soarin', the rain had let up, so we headed out of the land.
From there, we went to the Donut Box where we got the coffee cocktails, like a black and white coffee. They don't list the actual ingredients, but I think it's cold brew, whiskey, creme de cacao, and then like condensed milk or some sort of creamy thing. It was really good. I don't know if it was worth the price, but it was super drinkable, and it was definitely fun to have Adam and I split that. Then we met up with a friend, so that was super great. We were hoping to ride Test Track, but it had been down, and we lingered for a little bit, but it didn't look like it was coming back up soon, so then instead we headed over to Spaceship Earth, the classic. The technology on Spaceship Earth really doesn't work with a mask, so like when it takes your picture, like half your face is just gone. So at the end, when you're doing the future stuff, you just get the stock images and stuff like your face superimposed on it. But that's okay, it's still a great, fun, classic ride. It only paused once, and only for a very brief period of time, so a pretty good run for us on Spaceship Earth. We then moseyed back over to Test Track. We could hear that they were running the cars. They were definitely like testing it without, guests on it. We were hoping it would open up soon, but again, it just didn't look like it was going to, so we sort of moved on with our lives. I got a chimichurri steak snack from Flavors from Fire. That was really good. I think it was $7 after tax. It was like $7.20, so it is pretty expensive for just like a few little bites, but gosh, the whole thing was really on point, and I'm not mad about that money spent. I would recommend it. If you like steak, I think you will enjoy that for sure. We headed over to the Seas with Nemo and friends. I know a lot of people don't really like that ride, but I love Finding Nemo. I love aquariums, so I had a great time. It's also very chilly in there, so it was quite humid. I was quite sweaty. This whole trip really, my whole motto was just like, I am sweat. But yeah, we rode the Seas. It was super cute. I had a lovely time. We debated about popping into Imagination Pavilion and riding the Figment ride. We could have, like, everything was a walk-on. Well, all the rides over in that area were a walk-on. Nemo was a walk-on, Figment was a walk-on, etc. But we just decided against it. We were both getting pretty tired. I was going downhill kind of fast, so went ahead and took our break back at the hotel. Showered, freshened up. After that, we headed back out, of course, back into Epcot. We didn't have any plans on doing rides in the evening portion. The park had gotten quite a lot more crowded and wait times went up quite a bit. So we just decided to have a few snacks and then walk around the World Showcase and just soak it in. Adam and I split up in the France Pavilion. I waited in line to get a Grand Marnier slush for me, and I also ended up getting Adam the Grey Goose and lemonade slush. And then Adam went to the festival booth to buy the 3 cheese beignet. The slushes were good, but gosh, that line moves real slow. Like, there's only one cashier, and the literal time it takes to process like the credit card payment was just super slow. So they were working fast, like cast members were doing as much as they could. It's just a slow line. Like, it took forever. Adam got the cheese beignet like way before I got our drinks, but the beignet was fantastic. The beignet part itself, like the bread, was kind of forgettable. I don't know if ours was perhaps a little stale because this was later in the day, but the cheeses they use, it's like filled with the bechamel. Like, oh my god, it was so good. If you enjoy bechamel, you will definitely enjoy that beignet. I would 100% get that again, and I highly recommend it. We stopped into Mitsukoshi, my favorite, the store in Japan. Everything was super cute. They had a ton of Nintendo stuff and Animal Crossing and Pokemon. I'm just like, oh, so cute. They had some Sanrio stuff, not as much as I was hoping for, but that's okay. And of course, all of the fun snacks and traditional Japanese items as well. We didn't end up buying anything, but I just love going into that store. We then moseyed all the way over to Mexico, where we got a classic margarita from Choza outside. It was fine. It came across really sweet, so I think they either use a lot of simple syrup or they don't use much citrus to balance it out. And it's like pre-mixed, no one's like shaking it and straining it for you. So definitely whatever citrus they are using, it's not like a fresh squeeze of lime like you would get at a nicer bar. So I don't think I would get that again. I definitely wouldn't get it again. I don't think I would recommend it, honestly. There surely are better margaritas on property, but it was convenient. That line moved really fast, and we were moseying our way over to Canada for a dinner reservation at Le Cellier with some friends. I didn't really film during that at all because we were with our friends, and it was one of our friends' birthdays, so we just wanted to keep it, intimate, but that was awesome. Our server was Brian from the Cherry Hill area of New Jersey. He was fantastic. He explained everything. He was super personable. He was like the right level of chatty. He definitely paid attention to us. So if you can request a server, Brian was fantastic. I got the filet, Adam got the New York strip, and then one of my friends got the ribeye, and so we sort of swapped our sides. Like the ribeye comes with fingerling potatoes, and then the filet comes with a mushroom risotto. And I kept some and I ate it, and it's good. The risotto part's really good. I just don't really like mushrooms that much. And my friend really wanted the mushroom risotto, so we just traded because I was very happy with the fingerling potatoes. The steak was fantastic. It is expensive. There's no getting around that. I think just for our 2 entrees, it was almost $130 after tax and tip, and that was with an annual pass discount, which Brian graciously gave to us, even though Adam and I aren't annual pass holders. Our friends are, so that was really nice. It's a very expensive meal, but we were there for like 2 hours, 2.5, not quite 2.5 hours, but probably a little bit over 2 hours. There were 4 adults, and we split 2 bottles of wine. My friends graciously picked that part up on their tab. I'm hoping we can see them again so I can buy them some drinks and make up for a little bit. I feel pretty bad about that. But yeah, it was really good. I have heard a lot of mixed reviews about Le Cellier. Like, I think a lot of people think it's not that great for some reason. I think here's the thing, like, steakhouses are really expensive in general. So we live in the DC metro area, which is also like a costly place. So I'm not surprised to see like a $60 steak on the menu. Of course, it's not something we do all the time. Actually, we don't do it hardly ever. But I was surprised at how good it was. That's not just the alcohol talking. Like, it was a really wonderful cut of meat. Adam's was fantastic. We also got a bunch of sides for the table. One of our friends got the poutine. It looked great. Like, I can't say enough good things about Le Cellier, and I'm so glad we were able to do that for the first time this trip. And then so Epcot closed at 9. We were in Le Cellier like while Epcot Forever was playing, and by the time we wrapped up and left, like, I think the entire restaurant was empty. I'm pretty sure we were the last ones. And then we moseyed our way out of Le Cellier into World Showcase, and there were cast members. They were like, "Where are you headed?" And we said, Boardwalk, we're going back to our hotel. And someone was like, "Hey, I'm going to shadow you." So we literally had a cast member trail us, like, very politely the whole way out. And we didn't see any other guests the whole time. It was only cast members doing their job. And so I think we, like, shut down the park, which is hilarious because I never thought that would have happened. And I certainly never thought I would have done it via, like, a Le Cellier dining reservation. That was fun. And then the walk back was really peaceful and nice. And we basically just, like, yeah, that was it. That was the day. Like, we took it pretty easy. I think we did 19,000 steps, so a pretty light day, all things considered, for Disney Day, and especially for us. But it is such a longer trip that I'm glad that we are trying to moderate things and really modulate and make sure that our bodies hold up, because we do have another full week. So yeah, it was a super fun day. That was Thursday, a full Epcot day for us. We got a lot of the treats that we were looking forward to, like the Grand Marnier slush has been on my list forever. As soon as food and wine menus were announced, I saw the 3 cheese beignet and I said, I have to eat that. So that was great. And then we did also, I guess, before we went to dinner, we went back to France to go to La Hal's to pick up the bacon cheese roll so we could have it for breakfast on Friday. I am very sad to report that they changed it. So it used to be like you would have dough, and then they would put bechamel on it, and then, like, I think Swiss cheese, I don't know, some kind of cheese, and then bacon, and then they rolled it up and cut it. So they were like, sort of like croissants. They had the filling. Like, the bechamel was throughout, the bacon was throughout, the cheese was throughout. Wonderful. Instead, now they make, like, not a baguette, but little shapes of bread, and then just, like, put some bechamel on top, put some cheese on top, put some bacon on top. And it's not the same. Like, when you don't have the ingredients throughout the whole roll and, like, keeping things really moist, the bread felt really dry. The ends, especially, that had no filling, no cheese, no bacon, like, such a waste. And it's $8 now, which is, like, I mean, it's big, but it's pretty expensive. And in general, like, it was fine. The parts with the filling tasted fine. But compared to the previous iteration, subpar. And I'm really sad because that was one of my absolute top snacks. And so for a review of my go-to snacks, noodle gratin, which you can get at Beer Garden, like if you do the sit-down reservation. But you used to be able to just get a little portion to go from Summerfest. You can't do that right now. Pineapple upside down cake with Dole Whip from Aloha Isle, not on the menu right now. And then bacon cheese roll is on the menu, but it's not. It's basically ruined if you ask me. I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to recommend people go get that anymore because it's $8 and the nubs, the ends are like not great, and even the middle part is good, but like you could have a lot better. So that was a bummer, but that's okay. Now we know. Yeah, a really good day. Not the most exhausting day, which is great. And then Friday we've got Hollywood Studios, so that should be fun. Make sure you like the video. I would appreciate it so much. You'd help the channel out. And keep following along. If you want to be sure to follow along, definitely hit that subscribe button. You can ring the bell icon to receive notifications whenever I post new videos. We've still got a week left to go, so plenty more coming. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll talk to you later. Hope the rest of your day is magical. See you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.